Hello, my name is Gina and I hate taking out my contacts. So I'm not wearing them today. My hope is to just kind of sit here and do a very simple look. I have a lot, I have a huge backlog of stuff that I filmed and pictures that I've taken that need editing and scheduling and stuff. So my hope is to get into my studio by noon. Today I am working with this, actually I'm going to show this one first, this freaking gorgeous burnt reddish orange that has been sitting in my red yellow palette calling my name. This is Juvia's Place. It's Zakiya. It's from the Magic palette. Also from the Magic palette is Nubia. I also pulled out Kat Von D Analog from the Mi Vida Loca Remix palette. And another Juvia's Place shadow, which is Fez from the Saharan 2. So I'm gonna put on my headband, throw my hair back, all of that good stuff. My eyes are primed, my brows are done, and we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So yesterday in my world is when I did that blue purple star glitter look, and I'm still feeling better that nobody stopped me from doing it. So we're actually going to do something simple today. Most likely. With a transition shade and everything. I definitely have some staining on my eye from that, but I'm not super worried about it. Just because most of this is opaque enough that it will cover it up just fine. They're also in the same color family, so it's not gonna muddy anything up. This brush is scratchy as hell. Why do I still have this? That's better. I'm hoping that you can see this okay, because I'm still working on how to do all of this in a way that people can still see, but I can still see, because that's always the problem. I'm going in with that burnt orange shade of my dreams. I'm actually not gonna take off any excess, and I'm just gonna lay that right in there. It's so pretty. I'm gonna lay that right over this brown. So I laid it down on my lid in the outer corner, and I'm bringing it across, but I'm only bringing it across in the crease. I have been really into this brush lately, the oblong, flat, yet fluffy. It's wonderful. And I'm gonna take my shimmer with that. I'm spraying my, there's a bus going by, I'm sorry. I'm spraying my shadow in my lap because I found that if I was spraying it if I was spraying it off to the side, it was settling into my drawer over there. It would congeal. And when I picked up my jars before I moved them, it would be sticky and gross. Going back in with the orange. My brush is still a little damp, which is fine with me. I'll pop my glasses back on and check my ratios and stuff, make sure it looks the way that I want to. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for the first part. So since that took approximately 5 minutes, I will do the other eye off camera, then come back and show my face makeup. Okay, my other eye is done. Now I'm gonna clean up fallout and start on my face. I was thinking about something. It was related to products and some of the stuff I was talking about yesterday in terms of what I wanted to do with my channel. I use a lot of this stuff. What I wanted to do with my channel, what kind of content creator I wanted to be. And I think I was, sorry, I'm moving my mirror. I was thinking about, I think somebody did an empties video, and I was just I would make one of those once a year, and like maybe, and it would be like all the same thing. It'd be like 4 things of the Smashbox 24-hour primer and like 4 things of the same primer I use. And it relates in some ways to my feelings on whether or not I wanted to review product, because I don't, outside of eyeshadow, I don't really consume, relative to other content creators, very much makeup. It has been a very long journey to find a foundation that matches my skin, and in that way I've worked with a lot of foundations. If I did anything in terms of like more dedicated, like in-depth reviews, it would probably be foundation, and I'd have to like enlist my partner, and I might like enlist one of my partner's help as well, because one of my partners has dark skin. Outside of that, I'm not really a fiend for like blush. I'm not really a fiend for like trying face makeup, and it's not that I don't like those things, and it's not that I couldn't, in particular with like my contour and my brush, it's not that I couldn't stand to find things that are better, and it's not that people of like my skin tone and type don't need help finding those things, because all of those things are true. But it's just not something like, if like Hourglass is supposed to have like these gorgeous shiny blushes, and I'm just like, it's just not worth it to me. It's just not worth that money. I have blush that does well enough, you know. And if I want to, like, I just bought the ColourPop cream blush sticks. Like, if I want to try a product like that, I am like past the point in my like makeup journey, or maybe past like suggests like linear growth, and like there's a right way to go, which I don't think is true. But like, I am not at a point in my makeup place right now where like I feel like I'm excited about those things, right? And I don't know, it's not that I couldn't be, that's just not where I am right now. Like empties where like people try a bunch of skincare, or you know, monthly favorites where they've been trying a bunch of stuff. I don't like, that's not a part of like my makeup experience, and I don't know to what extent I would want it to be. And when I say I don't know, I mean like literally I don't know, as in like I could go either way, in that like I do enjoy trying things, and I do enjoy, if there's a concealer that's better than Shape Tape, it'd be really cool to like find that out. So I've been getting advertised on Instagram these eyeshadow palettes from a place called the Zodiac Cosmetics, and some of the color stories are actually very appealing to me, and I'm skeptical about the quality. I think they're just getting started, but I am curious. I'm very curious, and like, it would be cool to like be like, hey, I saw this thing that I think is really interesting and really neat, like let me buy it. It's like $30 for a palette, and try it out, and maybe like tell people about this cool thing I found, right? Like, it's in a lot of ways just sharing your interest with other people. I definitely want to teach people about depotting and repotting and all of that stuff. Like, that's definitely a thing. And I was talking with someone on Instagram last night who was saying that she wanted to depot her Morphe palettes, like her plastic ones, but she was really afraid of breaking them. And I have depotted a Morphe palette, and I don't think I broke it, and I don't think that I used heat. And it's like, oh, well, I could grab a Morphe palette and teach people how to depot them, because a lot of people have Morphe palettes, and a lot of people, like, they take up a lot of space. There are 35 shadows, and I think, like, people get started, sorry, I'm just fixing this thing. Like, they get started in makeup with Morphe. They get started in makeup with, you know, BH Cosmetics. Like, they used to have these really giant palettes, and you know, once you get into it and once you've like been at it for a while, you're like, yeah, I want some of these colors, but not all of them. And it becomes, and like the plastic packaging of Morphe sucks. That's one of the reasons why like I started depotting them, because like I found I wasn't using that palette because it was such a bitch to open. I'm quote unquote baking around where my glasses sit to keep like my foundation and concealer on a bit longer, if you're wondering what this madness is. And it's like, I feel like that would be really helpful. But there's this one direction where I can buy like these really popular palettes, like the Morphe palettes, like the Natasha Denona ones, and say like, all right, you bought these palettes. There are parts of them that you like and parts of them that you don't. You don't have to get rid of all of them. You can just depot it and put it somewhere else. Or I can be like, look, there's this brand that like just through promoted posts on Instagram, like I found this thing that looks really interesting and I'm curious to try it, and maybe I'm, you know, one of the first ones who are curious to try it, and maybe I get to tell people about it. And that would be cool. And I'd be super excited to do that too. But what I'm hesitant about is trying stuff that, for lack of a better word, like doesn't need my help. That's like Morphe or Natasha Denona or what have you. Like there are hundreds upon hundreds of videos from small like YouTubers saying like, is this worth it? Is it not? And I can't really, outside of like depotting, like I can't really see anything new or interesting that I would add to that. And that's one of the reasons why I like Beaute Bean and Annette's 3 looks 1 palette, 10 looks 1 palette, because no matter what like you do with something like that, like if you're just doing a video where you make looks with it, that is going to be different. Like people don't have like the same, you know, creative eye that you do. And also when I was starting out in makeup, that's a lot of what I looked for. Like, how do I use this thing that I got? How can I like do fun things? And I'm really interested in helping that demographic too, of like people who are just starting in makeup. And that's part of like my larger project idea. There was a point somewhere in this, and I don't know what it was. Put my glasses back on and check on my corners here. I really struggle with the corner because there's like my eye just takes a very dramatic dip back here, and like the brush like skips and it looks all weird. I like orange a lot because it makes my eyes go boom, even with my glasses. But I'm thinking I want a little something else. Yeah, I'm gonna pull a glitter real fast. Be right back. All right, I have Bananarama from Eye Candy Cosmetics. I weirdly have been using my eye candy glitters a lot more than I thought I would. I kind of like shoved them in a bin because, not that I didn't like them, it's just that like my super glitters are so like flashy and chunky and beautiful that I was like, I don't need these anymore. But like I find myself doing something simpler, right? Quote unquote simpler, and really wanting just a little something extra, just a little bit. And like when you have like these chunky fabulous glitters, like doing a little bit is not really an option. So I've pulled these back out and I actually really like them for that. But unfortunately, when you use Too Faced glitter glue, it gets fucking everywhere. So let me I should have realized that. Let me try and get this off. I'm gonna grab this and like dip in here like again. Ooh, and use the brush to apply the glitter. And it's actually quite a lot. So hopefully this will actually be subtle like I'm wanting it to be. And then because there's glue on the brush, it will now hold the glitter hopefully a little better. And hopefully it's not gonna be too much. The only thing I will say is that like the glitter glue like really dulls down the eyeshadow under it, so it's like, well, glad I did that. Alright, so gonna look, I have a mirror behind here. I'm just gonna, that is good enough for me. I'm gonna take my shadow again just on my finger, which I hate doing, but sometimes it's necessary. I'm gonna tap on the edge here, and what I'm hoping that will do for us is like going from glitter to metallic to matte will be a bit of a smoother transition. Going back in my pretty orange and just bringing that back a little bit. Yeah, like when I said I was blind, I wasn't joking. All right, I'm gonna close this glitter back up, but before that I'm gonna dump half of it on my desk. It's so messy, but it's so worth it. Excellent. I think I'm gonna grab this. Oh, this is from the Saharan too. This is Aziza. But I'm also gonna try out, is this the Luxie shade? Yeah, this is Lick It, Slam It, Suck It from Luxie. Actually, that's a little green. We're gonna try it anyway. I'm gonna put the like more colorful one down as a base. Lick It, Slam It, Suck It from Luxie, and Aziza as like my push. So I've got like a dense round brush. That's actually really nice. It's kind of getting overpowered by the glitter, which is, you know, what I wanted, but it's a really nice green yellow with a pretty strong, you know, green shift. I'll grab this one. Then I'm taking Aziza, and I'm gonna spray this one. She can be a little, not crumbly per se, but she can have fallout. I've become the person who gives her eyeshadows genders. Become that which I have hated. Interestingly, like it kind of mixed it, like Aziza's not super orangey, but it's kind of mixed with the Luxie shade to be a lot more green, which I'm not sad about. Just because I'm not supposed to be wearing green doesn't mean I don't want to. I like to use a denser brush for the bronze shade. I use the term bronze loosely. It's more like warm shadow and cool shadow. This is the part of my face, like of my makeup, where you'll see me take my glasses on and off a lot. Just because like you can see, like getting into the area where my glasses are is a thing, but I also I need to be able to see what I'm doing. You see, if it seems like I'm loading this on, it's partially because I am. I'm trying out like doing like a darker contour on the side of my face, because a lot of like when I feel like I don't like the way that I look, it's typically because like the sides of my face look too big. This is one of the few brushes I own that doesn't irritate my face anymore. I had some sort of weird skin reaction a couple months ago, and I had like this crazy like scabbing on my face, and it was actually legitimately very painful. And like some of it was acne, but like, I don't know, it didn't really seem like acne per se, it just seemed like skin irritation. So this is how I got back on the beauty blender train, because it was literally the only thing I could put on my face that wasn't irritating it. And since then I've kept doing it, but only doing like blush, bronzer, contour, etc. with brushes, because I tried to do my foundation with a brush a couple days ago and my face was like, fuck you. This is my best blush ever. I love this. It's nice and warm and peachy. This is a Sephora brush. I actually really like the Sephora Pro line. They used to sell a set for like $400 and I wanted it so bad. but I didn't get it, and now they don't sell it anymore, and I'm sad. The moral of this story is, well, not the moral, but I am in the market for better face brushes. If you know anybody, if you've got like good recommendations, let me know. I'm very much not in a place to like, that I want to spend more money on my brushes, right? Because like I spend a lot of money on makeup. Even as like a non-influencer, as a non-YouTuber, I still like, I have no problem dropping $100, $200 on like a bunch of eyeshadow. Not a problem. For whatever reason, I really struggle paying a lot of money for brushes. I don't have a problem with it in theory, but I do have a problem with buying brushes that I can't, not necessarily that I can't see. A great example is I was on, I think it was Hakuhodo. I was looking at their brushes, and I hear great things about their brushes, but their pictures only show like this part of the brush, and they don't have like size things or anything like that, and I'm just sitting here like, all right, this brush and this brush look the exact same, or could be the exact same if you have like, if you've isolated them on like a white background, so I don't really know what I'm spending $200 on, and that's the problem that I have. And so like, I keep hearing about the Refer brushes, and it sounds like a great idea. Like, they're basically like Hakuhodo brushes that, you know, are 40% off. I mean, that's kind of, or I don't know if the Kickstarter is still going, but that's the idea. And as a UX designer, I really appreciate the idea that like they made a product through user testing. I think that's amazing, and I want to support that. But like, first of all, I'm only in the market for face brushes, and right now the Kickstarter, like to get the face brushes that I'd want, I'd have to spend $200 and also get like something like 9 eye brushes, which I'm just like, I don't want to. And then also like, yes, I saw people review them, but like I don't really have a sense of like the size and shape of everything, and so it's just like, and I can't return them. And even if I could return them, like in terms of like the policy, I'm really shit at returning things. So I'm like trying to figure out, this is a whole long ramble going nowhere. That's basically like, there are lots of opportunities to get nice brushes, and I don't have a problem spending money on it. The problem that I have is, if I'm going to spend that kind of money on it, I want to be able to test it, to see it, to play with it. And I know myself well enough to know that even if there is a return policy, I'm not going to be able to send them back. So I'm taking the Aziza eyeshadow again, and I'm going to do a top highlight too. I wrote this on Instagram the other day, but when I started makeup, I didn't wear highlight at all, which I find very amusing, and my best friend finds very amusing. Because not only do I like highlighter, I like blue highlighter. Okay, checking on my battery.
Alright, well, one of these days we'll get through a video without footage being deleted or audio going missing, but today is not that day. I really loved this look for its mix of bright and dark, and I felt really good that day, looking like a literal woman on fire. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I'm still relatively new here on YouTube, and as you can see, there are lots of bumps in the road. Thanks for being here nonetheless, and I really appreciate it. If you have any feedback for me, how I could improve things, or things you want to keep seeing, let me know down below. If you'd like to see more from me, please do subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks again for your time, and please remember to be good to yourself, be good to others, and never stop thinking deeply. Bye.